If you want to play Mario Kart on the Nintendo Switch with a steering wheel, it doesn't need to be difficult, nor does it need to be expensive. So join me as we're looking at this. This is the Switch steering wheel, and it's from Numskull. Hello and welcome to Console Accessories, and as we said on today's video, we're going to be looking at this. Okay, so this is a relatively new product at the time of recording. It's not been out for very long. It's by Numskull, and it's essentially just the Switch steering wheel. And as you can see here, it's a desk-mounted stand that fits your Joycons in. Okay, so it's a really, really clever design. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to unbox it, and then I'm going to set it up with you, and then we're going to go through some gameplay, because I've used it for a few days. I have built it, and I've disassembled it just so I can show you all the bits that come with it and how to assemble it and stuff, because there's a few extra bits I need to show you. Okay, so for the unboxing here, this is what you've got as on the front, and then a bit on the side, just about in a bit of branding, and on the back a few of the European languages, and on the side more European languages and a bit more about it. Okay, so that's what you get. I got this from the Geek Store, and it got sent to me in the UK. I will leave a link below where you can get it in Europe, UK, and in the US as well. And I paid, at the time of recording, £15. That's all. So dirt cheap, really cheap. Okay, so if you're looking to use a steering wheel, you could use one of the official Hori ones, but there's one that's kind of works via USB into the Switch, but that's quite expensive. If you wanted to use which Joy-Cons, which you will have because it will come with your Switch, this is only £15. Go and have a look in the links below for where you can get them and for all the latest prices. Okay, so it comes in a few parts. So it comes in, this is the steering wheel, this is the base, and then you get these bits with it, and you get an instruction pamphlet, but you don't need that. Okay, so what I wanted to do was just quickly give you a brief overview, and then we'll break the bits down. Okay, so this is the base bit. So this gets stuck on your desk. Okay, it uses these suction cups, so it needs to be quite a flat desk. This isn't particularly ideal for suction cups, so it won't stick on there very much. But if you've got a desk, it will stick on there. And to give you some dimensions, between here and here is 12.5 centimeters. Between here and here is 4 centimeters. Between here and here is 16.5 centimeters, and between here and here is 8 centimeters. Just so I'll give you an idea of how big it is, of how big a kind of like platform you need in front of you to be able to play this. It also weighs 385 grams. This weighs 231 grams, and it's 22 centimeters across. So it's tiny and quite light. So if you're looking to take this around to a mate's house, I mean, if you want to disassemble it, you've got to undo these all the time, but when it comes together, you can still wang this in your bag. It takes up quite a lot of space, but it's not heavy at all. Okay, so this is your base, and what you do is you flip that up, and there's like a bit here. So you see this bit? That pushes forward, and that keeps it upright. Okay, so you've got it up at you, facing towards you. And then the steering wheel, it pops on there, and we're going to screw that in a second. It's just I've got to show you a few bits with the steering wheel, and that's it. You stick this on your desk and you play it. So and then to disassemble it, you just pop that out, pop that down like that. Now I've got to talk about one issue that I have had, is when it's up like this and it's stuck on there. So if I push this down, it does move up and down a bit. That's not too bad, a bit of a plasticky clank, but every so often, if you're doing that, it will unseat itself, and you'll need to either move it back. This doesn't clip in when it goes forward. It'd be nice if it kind of clipped in, but it doesn't. It's just free forming. So when you're like that, it can, I mean, it's not going to, because you're not going to be holding it like this, but sometimes it does do that. But it doesn't do it that often, and when you're playing it as well, you're kind of putting pressure on it anyway, so it kind of doesn't do that as much. I just thought I'd better mention it just in case. Okay, and then this. So obviously this is where your Joy-Cons go in. If you look in here, there's kind of clasps here. There's a bit there, and a bit there. That's where you fit your Joy-Con rail underneath it. So you kind of hook it in and then push it in. And then similarly with this one, there's a bit there, bit there, bit there. You hook your Joy-Con in down there like that and then push it in. Okay, it's all plastic with a Numskull logo on the front. And then when you flip it over, it's all plastic again, but it's kind of got this grippy feeling texture to it all around here. Okay, so that just kind of helps with the grip. That's nice on both sides. And as you can see there, the Joy-Con triggers are showing through there. You don't get access to L and R, you just get ZL and ZR. So this is designed for Mario Kart, essentially. It will work with any other game that uses motion controls. So if you've got a racing game you like that doesn't use the tilt motion, then you won't be able to use it. You can use this. And if you've got any other games that need to use L and R, but you can change your controls anyway. But if you need it won't work. But you need to use ZL and ZR. Okay, so what you do is you pop that on there, and there's a hole in there, and then you screw them in. So I'm just going to go and get them screw those in. Okay, so they're screwed in, they're nice and tight, there's no way this is going to come out. When I took them out before, it's quite an effort to take them out, so don't want to be making a habit of that. So once they're in, I would leave them in. And then once they're in, if I get it all set up like that, you have 180-degree motion. So from there, that locks, that doesn't go any further, all the way around to that far. And that's as far as it goes. And it springs back, okay? Quite a bit of resistance, but not enough, but really nice. It feels a decent amount. So you'd be sitting there and you'd be playing the game like this. If you really do kind of need to get it stuck, because it's quite front heavy, and as you can probably tell from this angle, it's quite front heavy, so it will need to make sure that it's all stuck down. It's not going to stick on this very well. It's down there like that, because otherwise it's gonna fall over. So you do need an area for it to stick down. There we go. It feels really good. I've played a few games with it and it feels great. I think for the price, if you're going to be wanting to use this, because you can just buy wheels and they're almost, they're around £10, around $10 or so. But if you do want a nice little extra bit for the desk, I think this is great. It's just really good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to whip over to a game of Mario Kart, 'cause that's what it's designed for, and then we'll just go through a little bit of gameplay just to show you what it's like. Okay, here we are. I've got my Switch in my dock and I've got my Joy-Cons in and we've got Mario Kart playing. So let's just whip into a quick game. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to check that the motion controls are on. So once the game is fired up and starting, you can easily check that just by pressing the plus button on the Switch. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so pressing the plus button there, you'll see up the top there, Y to change tilt controls. Make sure that is set to on, and then this will work. Okay, and you use your two triggers down there, so don't worry about the other settings on that. So if you continue, if we accelerate with the A, there we go. Okay. And then jumping with the right trigger, and then the left one uses your item. Okay, nice. Okay, so there we go. It feels really nice. It feels really good. You can feel the rumble from the Joy-Cons there, so that's really nice. And it feels nice and comfortable in the hand. It feels really good. So I think if you want to use a steering wheel and you don't want it to be too expensive, you could just buy the wheel as you're doing, but you can sat there like this. But I think this is a really nice solution. If you've got room for it on your desk here, I think it's a really good solution. And then just to popping the Joy-Cons out, you just kind of push them at the back there to pop them out. It does work with the Switch Lite. Whether you'd want to use it with the Switch Lite, you just need to connect the Joy-Cons to the Switch Lite, and you can use it, but you'd need to have it sat there handheld. I kind of think this is for like a desk for your OG Switch up on the TV. Okay, so there we go. As I said before, I'll leave a link below where you can get it. Go and have a look for all the latest prices. But I'm saying for 15 quid, I think this is a steal, and I think this is a really good solution if you want to be able to use a Switch wheel on a desk. Really good solution. Any questions you've got, leave them down below. I'll happily answer them. Do stick a thumbs up. Do subscribe if you're new around here. And until the next video. Bye-bye.